Hello, book lovers, and welcome back. My name is Lauren Explorer, or Lady Lauren Explorer, and today is October 30th. So, you know what that means if you've been following the series for a long time. It's the date that corresponds with the Chestnut Man. Now, I have some news. I cannot wait to finish this on November 3rd and 4th, like how it is corresponded in the book. So I'm finishing this today because I really want to know who the Chestnut Man is. And I want to watch the Netflix series. But also, tomorrow is the end of my Tomb Topple challenge. And I've already finished one book, and this will be my second one if I finish it today. So I'm trying to do that. Yes. Okay. And guess who's along with a ride? It's my roommate. I'm along for the ride. So, she already knows who Chestnut Man is. I can't wait till I know who it is, and then it's time to watch the Netflix adaptation so I can be thrilled. So, let's just get into it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I just finished it, and I never guessed. This is a 5 out of 5, would read again kind of book. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's just run down this because it was amazing. So October 30th, everything is going back to normal for the two detectives. Thuin is clear out her office because she has gotten the job as a cybersecurity person, and Hess has been cleared for duty and he's going back to Budapest. But as we know, things don't end up how they are. Hess is literally on the plane. He gets email about the images that Linus, the child molester and killer of Catherine, in his emails. And he was going to delete it, but he was just really curious. So he's like, I'm going to look at it. Looks at it. Then he notices something. You know what he notices? He notices that Linus noticed something as well. It's so dumb. But he notices that most of the murders that Linus has been looking at in the archives were of the women who were brutally murdered or raped and all that kind of stuff. But some of the numbered ones, there have been, there's times when he would go back to a picture 37 times, and then someone would be 17, and more than a 2-digit number. He notices something, and then Hess notices it. And it's that most of the crime scenes that he really was into looking at for sexual gratification had miniature chestnuts in the very background of the murders, and no one caught that. So Hess caught it, and he's like, hey, I need to get off this plane now. So he does, and he goes and he tells the police chief what's going on. As this is going on, Thuin is at a Halloween party with her child, Lee, and somehow, some way, there's chestnuts involved. And then we find out there's a different kind of chestnuts, which I also did not know there are different kind of chestnuts. But then Thewin has this like epiphany of, wait, chestnuts? Different types? What's the most common types that, are, there's edible ones. There's one that you can make out of dolls. Wink, wink. So she calls Rose's husband and asks him what chestnuts did Catherine use to make her chestnut men or chestnut dolls. And he says horsemen. So then she goes to the forensic science department and asks Gintz, did every one of your, what chestnuts did your assistant say were used in the crime scenes? And he says like something else that's not horsemen, or they were horsemen, and then he gave the scientific name for horsemen. But anyways, she goes to the office and she's like, hey, can you take me to this chestnut tree? And he's like, no, I can't. And she's like, hey, it's along the way. And he's like, no, still can't. And then he realizes something, that she knows something. And he's like, you know what? All right, let's go do this. So an hour later, she arrives at this field, and there's this chestnuts trees. And she gets out the car and she's like, oh my gosh, yes. How about we just search around here? And he's like, why would we search around here? And she's like, well, if we search, the only possibility will be if we were right or wrong. But we can still search, we're already here. And he was like, all right. Okay. And then it switches. But we already know what happened because he is a chestnut man. And it's crazy. So, long story short, Rosa, the minister of the child of welfare, realizes that she knows who the chestnut man is, and she knows where he might be. And she receives a text message with the emoji of the person that goes shh when she realizes it, and she just books it to where he is. Hess then finds out that Thewin's gone, and he goes to find out about the first case, the case in 1989. And he realizes that the children in the basement had previously went to another foster family, and they were only there for 3 months. And that foster family had another foster child, and that foster child was Rosa. I think I'll leave that up to you guys to watch the series or read the book to figure out all that. But it's a lot. It is a lot. It's crazy. And wow, this was such a good, this book was so good. But the ending of this book can leave you on the cliffhanger if you think about it. So, Linus, I think that's how you say his name, the one who was accused of murdering and sexually abusing Catherine, is out because he didn't do it. And he had already served enough time for the crimes that he actually committed, which is hacking into a database and finding all those sexual pictures of murders and stuff. He's out, and again, he kind of knew who the Chestnut Man was. He didn't know who the person was. He just knew that this person he was killing was a Chestnut Man because of Chestnut figurines. And in the end of this, remember, he's a sexual predator. Okay? Sexual predator. he just never committed anything. He is on the train sitting down, and then there is a young mother and her daughter sitting in front of him, and the mother smiles at him, and he's like, man, the Chestnut Man drama, that didn't end how I would like it to end. And blood, body parts, more blood. So how do I pass the time? He looks at the single mother and the kid, and he says he knows how to pass his time, which is heavily implied that he will be with this mother and her daughter, and he will be probably doing what happened to our first murder with Laura. So that was a letdown, but this book was not a letdown at all. I did not know who he was. I knew who he was. Like, I knew the Chestnut Man, as in I knew who he was in the beginning. I just didn't know his name or know who he was in this book. And I definitely met him way before I thought I would. But again, that's how it's supposed to be. But I kind of had it right when I said that the kid was the one who did it. So it's going to be time to watch the Netflix series because I can't wait for this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry I couldn't do the whole November 3rd and 4th, but I really wanted to know. And then plus, they tell you at the end of the 30th, it's over. Like, we already know who he is. And then the 3rd and 4th are just the tie-ins afterwards, to clean up everything. So it was okay. But now I finished my Tomb Topple challenge and it's good. Well, I hope you guys had a wonderful time following me on this crazy journey of corresponding days for the Chestnut Man. It was great. I might have to do this again with another mixed media book or something. I just have to find a book that actually has corresponding dates that I can actually follow for a month, not just the actual days, but month and dates, preferably. Oh my gosh, but this was such a good book. Can't get 5 out of 5. Would read again. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope to see you guys in my next read along with me, or just any other book review that I'm doing. I will see you guys later, and bye.